Hello, everyone. This is Chala, CEO and founder of the Repositioning Expert. Welcome to another live session of Tuesday Tea Time with Chala, where I actually have tea today, not protein. Let me take a sip. A little bit later today, but just as good. The days are longer, so I have all the natural light. So why you can't close the sale? I often do these topics because current clients are struggling with issues that I'm talking about, and I often send a recording or they're watching it. So here's to all my clients who are having issues closing the sale. And this is going to reiterate everything that we talked about, plus help those of you who are not clients, or who have, worked with me in the past. This will hopefully refresh things for you. So this is when you are getting prospects to line up to talk to you because your marketing is actually working, which is really the hardest part for a lot of small B2B businesses, to get corporate buyers to line up for these calls, for their prospects to actually line up for the calls, because that's the hardest thing to get, is a buyer's meeting. But then once you get in, if you can't close the sale and it's happening over and over and over again, there's something that you're missing. And based on my experience and statistically, there is one key reason why it's not working. So I'm going to talk about a couple of reasons, but really the biggest one is, and let me go through, I've listed six of them here today. So really the biggest one is that you're too focused on yourself. So the first one is you're too focused on your products and services. So, and also when you're just trying so hard to get out what you can do, what you have, what you want to sell to them, you're not really open to what they're trying to convey to you. So that's one of the first mistakes and the number one mistake. The second is you're not really listening. You have a script, and especially when I work with my clients, I give them a script. So with some clients, they get so focused on the script that they stop listening. They're more in their head around, okay, what am I going to ask next? It's not about that. If you find yourself getting into that, throw the script away and just get curious. Why are they here? Why have they even set up the call? What is it that they need from you? And what is it that they think you can offer them? Get curious about what you can hear. And really the magic happens when a prospect thinks that you understand their problem or their situation better than anybody else who is in your situation who could help them and sell them a solution. So if they think somehow you understand it better and deeper and can help them more, that's where they resonate. So number three is, this is where a lot of clients, and this used to happen to me earlier on in my business too, is only thinking about the money. So you're constantly thinking, okay, what price point or what service, or how much budget am I going to pitch them? What do they have? And maybe getting into it with moving into it with a scarcity mindset, thinking, oh, do they have the budget? Will they be able to afford this? And just thinking along the money part of, which part can I sell? What are they saying so that I can turn into a proposal for a product or a service? So only thinking about the money really hampers you from doing all the stuff that I was talking about, which is really like listening. And also it hampers you from really listening to the pain. And remember, if there's no pain, there's no sale. That's a very big saying of mine. And if you're not listening to the pain, and you're not listening to exactly how you can help them and how they think you can help, then you're constantly getting stuck in thinking about the money. And then you're stuck in talking about you and your services and your assumptions. So that brings me to the next point of what you're doing wrong and why you can't close the sale, is assuming their need. So this used to happen a lot when I used to work in corporate. These large corporations would come and present to me as a corporate buyer, and they were so off the mark because they were always guessing. Now, one of the things that I've been seeing in some of the sales conversations that I'm listening to for clients to give them feedback is that they're trying to impose what their assumption is of the pain because they haven't been able to listen to the pain. They haven't heard or uncovered the pain, Or when they're asking pain related questions, they're not getting the answer that they're looking for. So they're imposing it on the prospect, which the prospect is often either just overlooking it and just changing the subject, or pushing back, which gets their back up, which really doesn't do anything for the trust in that conversation. So it strains the conversation, the sales conversation, which often doesn't end with a close. So my always forget about the assumptions. Always what I'm asking for my clients to do is, one, know who you're talking to, specialize in that industry, focus in their pain, do your homework even before you go in. If they don't know the pain, you can learn ways to uncover the pain through asking more deep, open-ended, coach-like questions. That's going to drill down into what is happening. Why did they come to you? Why did they come to this call? Stop assuming, start listening, start asking. Next reason why you can't close the sale, I think, is your inability to link the pain to the vision and the goal that they came to the call for. There is a reason why what they're doing isn't working, and you haven't been able to uncover the link between what they're doing and what they're not getting. So unless you can link the two, you are not going to close the sale. So for example, I'll give you an example from one of my clients, is when the pain was that female finance executives could not show up in a polished manner to organizational events. They didn't feel good about themselves. However, the actual pain was that the lack of polish was not getting them to the goal of getting to the next level of their career. So unless we can make that link between not feeling polished, not knowing how to get a polished look together in terms of style, to their inability to ascend to the next level of their senior executive leadership level, then if we couldn't get them to identify that gap and make that link between the pain and the goal, then it doesn't go anywhere, because then you can't sell them a solution that they don't think is significant enough to impact their goals. That's the whole idea, is throw away the script. Just ask them, how is what you're doing right now not supporting the ultimate vision? And if they can't answer that and they don't see any link between the two, then I don't think you can sell them a robust enough product or service that's going to make any meaning and any dent into their true vision. Because at the end of the day, the reason why we make sales is to help someone. And they come to the call already with a vision of what they want to achieve with respect to what you can help them with. So if you're not doing the job to put the two together, you're missing it. Okay, I hope that's clear. And then lastly, you have to position yourself as the captain of the boat that goes from the island of pain to the island of pleasure in the future perfect. So the pain is in the present, and the future perfect vision is the island of the future. So if you of pleasure, so if you can position yourself as the conduit between the two islands, then you can connect your services to the vision. So if you're not connecting your services and your products to the vision, that's a huge miss as well. And without understanding where both these islands are and what they look like and what the status is on both islands and what's keeping them from going from one island to the other, which is the cost and the consequence of not going, then you're not going to be able to close the sale. So I hope this makes sense for a lot of you who are every day having these sales conversations without being able to close. These are the common mistakes that my clients are making, that I used to make, that I got coached out of years and years and years ago. And hopefully they're going to help you close your next sale. All the best, and I'll see you next Tuesday.